Is it just me, or are there too many open challenges in WWE right now? We had Becky Lynch last night kind of sort of do an open challenge, and then Oba Femi, without a title even, said, let's do an open challenge, an Oba challenge, if you will. And, yeah, I think there's too many open challenges. I really do. I'm a big Oba Femi supporter. I even understand why they're doing it, but it's like, come on, man. Can we write stories for these people? Well, let's see what you folks have to say. We have Ron Talks Tabletop says, enough with the open challenges. Okay, so not a fan. And then we got Tiz Mickey. I don't know how I feel about the Oba Open Challenge because, who's really going to step up to him? If I were booking it, I would say, what about Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman is about to have his TV show where he eats the entire menu come back on USA Network. This would be a good way to cross-promote. Have Braun Strowman for a month come back. Boom, right there. The next day, we have the Open Oba Challenge come up again, and you have Omos return. Omos right now, he's a really tall guy, actually fought Brock Lesnar at a WrestleMania before. He's been in AAA, the Mexican promotion that WWE owns. He's been there. If we don't have any long-term plans for him to come back into the main WWE, why don't you just have him come back for 1 month? Again, he answers the call. We see these two Goliaths going at it. That's another month done. And then we can go to King of the Ring where Oba will win and a proper storyline can form. What I don't want to happen is Oba Femi just in squash match after squash match after squash match where he only performs 3 or 4 moves. I do not want the Brock Lesnar that we've had for the last 5 or 10 years because Brock Lesnar could actually wrestle, but they only allowed him to do his power moves. Oba Femi can actually wrestle. Give us NXT Oba Femi, not last 5 years of Brock Lesnar Oba Femi. Bruce Reed says, all these people complaining about the Oba Open Challenge. WTF else is he supposed to do? Well, I'm not sure if everybody's really complaining about Oba Femi doing an open challenge. I think people are complaining about the fact that there have been too many open challenges. It's like Triple H just runs out of ideas for people. He just said, open challenge, sure, why not? Think about this. Since last November, we've had the U.S. Open Challenge with 3 different people involved in it. Sami Zayn, Carmelo Hayes, and Ilya Dragunov. And immediately after they lost their title, there was almost nothing for them. So that's 3 right there. Becky Lynch on the same show that Oba opened an open challenge, she said there was an open challenge. Now, granted, she did kind of sort of backtrack on it, but again, we're using the open challenge storyline. Penta did not necessarily say open challenge, but he did say, I'm going to be a fighting champion. I want all comers. And I think the first week was kind of an open challenge, but then he was just like, yeah, let's just have everybody in a ladder match. So he has the spirit of an open challenge. AJ Lee, when she won the title, she said, I want all challengers, come at me. Open challenge to anybody in the back. And then she only had 1 match for said open challenge, but again, that's 6 right there. CM Punk, I'm going to be a fighting champion. I'm going to take on all comers. And then it was like Bron Breakker, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. Again, nobody was complaining that we got those matches. We're complaining about the story beat that we can do something else other than an open challenge to involve people in storylines and get matches to actually happen. I think Stephanie Fakir, when she first got the title, she was kind of like, I want to be a fighting champion, take on all challengers. Rhea Ripley this week on SmackDown, I want to be a fighting champion and I'm opening it up to everybody. And then she ended up facing JC Jane. So it's like, nobody's complaining that JC Jane fought Rhea Ripley. It's the fact that they make all of these storylines start the same exact way. I want to face all challengers. Oba Femi, they have nothing for him after beating Brock Lesnar. It's like, this is all they got? Just him doing an open challenge? I mean, it's better than nothing, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they could have done something else. I'm happy that we're not taking Oba off TV, but I'm not exactly thrilled that it had to be through an open challenge. It's called WWE Creative for a reason, so WWE, please Be creative. Puffing and Puffing says, Roman said it best, the man makes the title. In my opinion, Cody made the undisputed title irrelevant lately because WWE doesn't know where to go with his character. What Roman said last night, sometimes the title makes the man and sometimes the man makes the title. And Roman is definitely making this title. I think Seth did a great job with it, and I also think CM Punk did a great job with it, but it on Roman's shoulder, well, it's next level. And if you want this belt on your shoulder, you can win it at 30,000 subscribers. I'm going to give it away. If you notice, I said 30,000 because I held the 20,000 subscriber giveaway over the weekend. Roman Reigns, acknowledge me. You have until tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 p.m. to contact me on Instagram or TikTok, and you can pick your choice of title. You won, my friend, but if you don't, then it goes to the next person, and they've already contacted me, so please, Roman Reigns, acknowledge me. You have until Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pick your title. But at 30,000 subscribers, you can also win. Anybody out there, all you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel, and you can win this belt right here. It's not a toy. It's a replica. Roman Reigns, acknowledge me. Call me. Text me. Actually, text me. I love AEW wrestling. I honestly hated the Joe Hendry concert on Raw because I felt like WWE was trying to make fun of people getting fired, and WWE literally knows that they can't fire Logan Paul. Now, here's the thing. Last night, I didn't catch that. I did not catch it at all, and I actually enjoyed the Joe Hendry concert. And I don't think Joe Hendry, like, from everything I know about the dude, he's a very good dude. I don't think he would actively participate in something like that. But then again, you know, he's under contract. If they tell him to do something, he kind of has to do it. That said, you are like, now that I think about it and reflect on it and read your comment, like, it was a little tone deaf. I think that's what it is. It's very tone deaf to literally be saying, let's fire somebody after you just fired 22 or 24 people. Yeah, that was in bad taste. Now, they probably should have held off this concert one more week at least, because you're right. Logan Paul will be like, I'm unfireable. You're absolutely right. I feel like I want to believe that they weren't doing it maliciously, but at the same time, very tone deaf and inconsiderate. And, yeah, I really enjoyed it last night, but now there's like, you made me realize that it was probably actually inappropriate. So I apologize to all the wrestlers released for not thinking about that at the time. MGT Wrestling says, if those "We Want Kyrie" chants become loud enough, they could bring her back at Backlash to help defeat Asuka. I hope so, but there's a part of me that thinks that the R-Truth situation was a one and done. WWE, they don't want to set a precedent of just releasing people and then bowing down to the fans. Like, they really don't want to do that. I wish they would, like, heaven forbid they listen to the fans, but they're a business and they gotta, like, prove that their decision is right by not listening to fans. That's kind of a weird mentality, but I also think that's the mentality that TKO will have. Because, I mean, there was "We Want Karrion Kross" chants, and, well, he didn't come back. So I think this will be the same situation. I'm really hoping, though, that they allow Kyrie to come back at least to finish the story. Because she's under a 90-day no-compete clause. So, yes, she was released, but she's getting paid for 90 days. Therefore, in these 90 days, they could bring her back just to end this storyline. Just give the fans, Kyrie, Asuka, Io, give us all closure. But if you wanted to keep her on full time, I'm sure the fans would appreciate that. Nike fan says, WWE fans already complain about Cody fatigue. I can see the open challenge for Oba Femi becoming the same way if he's on TV every week in meaningless matches. So I don't think Cody fatigue comes from seeing Cody too much. I think it's from Cody not having an interesting character or storyline. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, DX, they were here every single week, but their storylines were interesting and captivating. TTJC says, Dawkins saying, like he got friends, regarding Seth made me bust a gut. So happy the Profits are back hunting gold. I love that as well. It shows that continuity matters. I love when we do callbacks like this. Why would anybody want to be on Seth Rollins' side right now, especially as a babyface? He's betrayed everybody. Everybody. The only person he kind of hasn't betrayed is Cody Rhodes. Sure, they wrestled each other, but like Seth didn't go full heel on Cody. So like I think Cody is like might be his only person who might be an ally, and that's it. So I'm glad that nobody likes Seth Rollins right now. Tuna Tunga says, for those who don't know, the chokehold that Fatu, Jacob, used on Roman was the Tongan Death Grip. It was used by Haku back in his wrestling days, or Ming if you're a WCW fan. Nice homage to the Pacific Islander GOAT. Yes, I popped when I saw the Tongan Death Grip come out. Someone asked, when was the last time that was used? And I was like, oh my gosh, did Umaga use it? No, honestly, that move has not been in play for about 20 years. And I love that he brought it back. I hope that becomes his finisher. I would much rather see him do the Tongan Death Grip than the prettiest moonsault ever. Let Tiffany have it, and now we have, Jacob can still break out the moonsault, but now he has something unique. And any callback to Haku is fine by me. Love Haku. In fact, I believe either Haku or Bad News Brown were my first two favorite heels that I ever liked, because back in the day, I was, you start off only liking the baby faces. I can't remember who I liked first, but those two almost at the exact same time. I was like, yeah, there's something special about these two. I don't understand why I like them. Numba says, call me crazy, but I think Javon is going to help Penta get rid of Rusev, then turn on him and go heel with Kofi. You are crazy, my friend. It makes sense what you're saying, but no way. Javon is way too over and connected with the crowd right now. Like, he's not going heel in a very, very long time. Bishop Marley says the Intercontinental division is hot and I love what they're doing. Ethan Page is a great call-up and I can't wait for him to win gold. Yeah, you know what? Now that Penta is just fighting actual people and there's kind of a storyline building as opposed to just saying, I'll take on everybody, I'm actually starting to really like Penta's Intercontinental title run. Not a big fan of Rusev jobbing out again last night, but like, let's see where it goes. And Ethan Page, like, I'm really digging Ethan Page. I was an Ethan Page hater when he came over to WWE, but like, I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's really grown on me, and he really understands his character. CS Wise Mark says, I can clearly see Asuka is going to attack Io Sky in every match, and Kairi Sane is going to come and save Io Sky. This is so predictable. I hope, hey, I'll take that predictability any day. Re-sign Kyrie and give me that predictability, please. Charles Yancey says, the only thing I want to know is why wasn't the Usos out there with Roman? I agree, that made no sense. Roman went out there and Roman got attacked and the Usos did not come to help. And the Usos were in the building because LA Knight and the Usos confronted each other. We needed some kind of segment where Roman said, yeah, I'm going out there by myself. No matter what happens, don't come out. We just needed one or two sentences from Roman. That was it. Jimbo Slice says, tonight was the first time I realized how much damage the Vision did to Bron Breakker. I just don't care about him. I'm just waiting for this Vision fallout to settle and pretend this chapter never happened. Unfortunately, you're right. You can only tell me that Bron Breakker is going to be a WrestleMania 48 main eventer so many times before I'm just like, all right, well, this is kind of, we're not really doing nothing with them. The Vision has done damage. It's not irreversible. It'll be fixed. But, like, even Bron Breakker called it out in his promo. Like, I was doing just fine without you, Seth, and he really was. The Vision was not good for Bron Breakker. Let's cut our losses and move on, please. Tracy Wood says, I'm so excited that I am a fan for this era of the Bloodline. If I remember correctly, Tracy Woods was not watching during the first Bloodline saga. And Tracy, if you ever have time, I do believe that WWE has a playlist of the Bloodline, so you might want to go and check it out. But yes, if we even get half of how good the original Bloodline was during this run, you're going to be eating good. Just Incredible says Roman claims he greenlit Fatu coming to WWE, but that makes absolutely no sense. Why would Roman greenlight a dude Solo brought in to basically stage a coup on the OG Bloodline and take power from himself? You know, you're absolutely right. I did not key in on this last night, but yes, why would Roman bring in Jacob if he did greenlight it? That actually makes no sense, whatever. And you could say, oh, well, Roman wanted to bring in his cousin and give him an opportunity. Again, if he was going to do that, then Roman would have brought him in on his side. He wouldn't bring in anybody to help Solo Sikoa during that time because Solo had the Ula Fala. Solo needs to call that out on SmackDown. Just say Roman's a liar, and that's fine. Roman in his character, like Roman gaslights. It can happen. It's a plot hole right now, but if they fix the plot hole, then it's fine. But I think they're going to ignore it. I think they're going to ignore it because they're trying to sell us as Roman being a pure good guy when he's not a good guy. And I wish they would just stop pretending he is. I'm not saying he has to be a full-blown heel, but don't rewrite history to just make him out to be this like knight in shining armor. He was a bad dude, and he still has those bad tendencies. It's fine. It's like, we fell in love with Roman, the bad dude. It's fine if he's still a bad dude. Daniel Kinzer says, Braun's promo on Seth was hilarious when he mocked him. Yeah, when he held his nose and was like, I am the visionary. Yeah, Braun did a really good job last night. I thought Braun's promo has been very good. I know that has been one of his weak points. A lot of people see it as a weak point, but I don't. They say that he gets so flustered that he'll say anything and trip over his words. I actually love that because he is the nephew of Big Papa Pump. Holla if you hear me, Scott Steiner. And Scott Steiner used to do that all the time, and his promos are legendary. Just look up Steiner math. It's like fantastic. And so I didn't mind when Braun would just kind of like stumble, because when he stumbled, he would like recover in a way that was very unique to him. And his promo last night was decent, though. It was a really good promo. Program for Damage says, I honestly hope that with Penta getting beat down by two people, he had been helped out by Rey Fenix, his brother. Nope. Well, I think it'll happen. I actually did a WrestleMania 43 prediction video, and I have the Lucha Brothers reunited at some point in the year. JJ Sweet says the El Grande feud is way too confusing in the face-heel dynamic. Triple A does it way better. Yeah, you know, it is weird. You have tall Grandes like, I'm gonna go face OG Grande for my mask versus mask, so to prepare, I want to face the living legend, Rey Mysterio. So he pays respect to Rey Mysterio, but then during the match, he tries to cheat. And then you have OG Grande helping Rey Mysterio, but he's also kind of calling out Rey Mysterio. And Rey is just like, I want both of you guys to treat wrestling, you know, Lucha Libre with respect. I'm not getting in the middle of all this. So it is kind of confusing. In AAA, it's done right. In WWE, it's kind of not. And they got to remember that not everybody is watching AAA. So it's just like, pick a lane. Pick a lane with the Grandes. And Carmichael says, this might be Seth Rollins' best promo to date. For once, it felt like he was speaking from the heart. Absolutely captivated me. I really liked the Seth Rollins promos when he was trying to convince Cody Rhodes to challenge him at WrestleMania 40. And then when he was like, I'll be your shield. That was my favorite Seth Rollins promos. But tonight's was pretty good. I would have liked it better, though, if Bron Breakker had just gone unhinged at the end and attacked him when Seth like said, you're not even the number 2 Steiner in your family. So it's like Bron Breakker needed to go a little crazy. But yeah, last night was great. I just hope he stops with all the pandering and the laughing, the Joker laughing stuff. I kind of just want to see 14-year veteran Seth Rollins. So there you go, boys. There you go, girls. Those are my hot takes for Monday Night Raw. See you tomorrow. Bye.